Welcome back to How to Cake It. Happy Pie Day. I mean, this is one of my favorite days of the year, and I'd like to say thank you to our friends at So Yummy for sponsoring this video. Today I'm going to be using this So Yummy portable Bella blender. It's lightweight, it is adorable. We look good together. It just has one button. It's really simple to use, and the cap, you can make like a smoothie. I'm not doing that today, I'm making pie, but you could just open the cap and drink your smoothie. And I've seen blenders like this that are over $60. This one is $24.99 at Target. So you know what that means. I'm gonna have to cross the border and go to Target. But to all of you who live in a city with a Target, then go check out the So Yummy products. I will have to wait, but I have one now. So let's make pie. This is a very simple pastry recipe. I love it. It's versatile, you're gonna find that out, but it's just a half a cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, a quarter of a cup of granulated sugar, a cup of all-purpose flour, and then 1 egg yolk. I normally make this dough or pastry in a mixer, but you can make it by hand as well. I haven't made anything by hand in a very long time. Butter and sugar have fully combined. We can work in the flour. And then you don't want to stir as vigorously, otherwise you will be wearing it. And then to finish off the dough, we are going to add 1 egg yolk. Now what I want to do is gather the dough into a ball and chill it in some plastic. Okay, so this one is the plain dough. I'm gonna make the exact same thing, but a maple version. So what I've done here, same exact ingredients, but I swapped out the quarter of a cup of granulated sugar for a quarter of a cup of maple sugar. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so we're just gonna pat it down, wrap it up, and chill it. Now I'm gonna make the chocolate version of this pastry, which requires 2 swap outs. So again, instead of granulated sugar or maple sugar, there's a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. And then with our 1 cup of flour, we're only gonna do 3/4 of a cup, and we're going to replace the last quarter of a cup with cocoa. Of course, you can make this in a mixer, but I wanted to make a recipe that anyone could make on Pie Day. Okay, so now we're going to add our 1 egg yolk. Doesn't this smell so good? It smells so chocolatey already. Knead to make sure it's all together. Deal. So the dough has been chilled. This is my first batch, the plain dough. I'm going to make the first set of pies in a little tart shell. What we can do is we can roll the bottom directly on the bottom of the tart shell, dividing the dough. Now I'm just gonna press it out. It's a lot like, almost like a sugar cookie dough. So it does sort of crack and crumble as you're spreading it, but do not worry, it comes together. Just a little bit of flour on the top. That was more than a little bit, but it's gonna be all right. Hold up the bottom and trim away the excess all the way around. Looks good. 2. Now I'm going to work on filling in the sides of the tart shells. So what I like to do is just roll my dough into a bit of a cord, and then we'll press it into the tart shell. And at this point, you're gonna press it into the sides. And then I like to use my pinky and just press, make sure the corner is pressed down as well. Otherwise, you get a lot of extra dough in that corner. Nothing against extra dough. And we're gonna use our knife again to cut the pastry, the excess pastry away. Flush with the tart shell. So as you can see, I have 3 beautiful tart shells made with the plain dough, and I used this removable bottom tart pan to create each one of these, and these are gonna be filled with white chocolate and macadamia nuts. Okay, now moving on to the maple dough, and we're gonna bake these tarts in a different pie dish. They're all gonna be in a different shape, just to show you how versatile it is. So this is the tricky part. You're going to feel like it's cracking, which it is, but it's okay. You can just press it into the mold. You can actually just press all of the dough in. You're just less likely to get an even base. So I like to pre-roll it and then press. These 4 tarts are made with my maple dough. They're gonna be filled with a maple walnut filling. Canadian. Okay, this dough feels a little more tender with the cocoa, but it works in the very same way. So this is like a traditional pie plate, but mini. And same idea, we're just gonna press the dough. And then I'm gonna trim away the excess from the side as opposed to the top because this has a lip. I kind of want to add a little detail to this one. So I'm just gonna use a fork. Isn't it cute? Like usually a store-bought pie has these, or the edges are crimped, but for this type of dough, crimping won't work. And last but not least, these chocolate tart shells in the mini pie pan are going to be filled with a salty peanut filling with a hint of caramel. Now we're gonna make the filling for our beautiful tarts. The ingredients are pretty much the same for each tart. There's a slight alteration in the maple one, but it consists of 2 eggs, a half a cup of corn syrup, a half a cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of butter melted completely, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're gonna make this in a blender. A very simple blender with only 1 button. Now we're just gonna screw the lid on. Here we go. Easy as pie! See what I did? Okay, this is the fun part. So I'm going to place some macadamia nuts in each shell. Why am I using 2 hands like it's so many? What's wrong with me? And I'm also gonna place a few white chocolate Calais. You can use white chocolate chips. And now, because of this spout, we're gonna pour our filling right on top. So I'm gonna drizzle it. I don't want the nuts and the chocolate chips to move to the side. And you're gonna just make sure it's full right up to the top. You're gonna start to see air bubbles rise in the filling, but that's fine. They will disappear when we're baking. Off to the oven we go, slowly. I'm moving on to my maple walnut tarts. Same ingredients, except I've subbed out 2 tablespoons of the corn syrup, and I'm going to replace it with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Okay, here we go. Here we go again. This tart, of course, has walnuts, so just plop them in. Not plop them in, place them nicely into the tart. Now moving on to the final tart. This is gonna be the salted peanut tart topped with caramel. I already know I like it. And they're back. Oops. Be gentle with your pies. So these are the macadamia white chocolate little mini pies. I'm going to take them out of the shell. This is fairly easy. If you have trouble, you can use a blowtorch and just sort of heat up the outside, or if you don't have a blowtorch, you can hold it over the element of your stovetop just for a moment. Now we have to remember to take off the bottom. So you can see, it seems like it's adhered. You could just find a little spot where you can slip a spatula through. They smell so yummy. I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little bit of icing sugar. So I cut out a little heart just on a piece of paper, and I'm going to use that as a stencil in the middle of each pie. All right. Ta-da. Now I have my maple walnut pies in this beautiful fluted pan. These are a bit easier And as I say that, they're not acting easy. Okay, see what I mean? So with these, what I want to do is brush on a little maple syrup and make them look glossy. And now I'm going to add just a little maple sugar along one edge. Do you think I should do it all the way around? I don't know. I'm going to do it halfway. All right. Maple walnut. I think this one's going to be my favorite. This is the salted peanut. I don't know what to call it. It's like a title. Salted peanut butter caramel. I'm just going to flip them over gently. This will just help to melt the butter within the crust, and hopefully the pie plate will let go. Come on. Oh, see that? You can see it. You see how like it's glistening? That's butter. Oh no, I don't want to break the beautiful crust. And I think I did. As I said it, I broke the beautiful crust. I'm so upset with myself. I'm sad on Pie Day. Okay, so lesson learned. I think I should have greased these pie pans. They're not as high quality as the other two, and I think if I had greased the edges, that would have really helped. But it's okay, there's always a workaround. Since I want these pies to look the same, I'm gonna cut off the beautiful crust. I'm so sorry. Now it's time for the good stuff. I'm going to add caramel to these tarts. Okay, this is my favorite part. I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna take some beautiful video of these, and then I'm gonna eat them. Time to taste these pies. So let's dig in. I'm gonna start with the white chocolate macadamia nut pie. So yummy. Maple walnut, I'm very excited. This one is really good, and I know a lot of people think maple's too sweet, but real maple syrup is not as sweet as you think. It's really good. And I still have a third one. I'm eating this one last because of the chocolate. This one is the most decadent, and it has that salty, sweet flavor that I love. But really, all these pies are good, and I wanted to make this video to show you how versatile one recipe can be. So baking doesn't always have to be difficult and time-consuming. You can make the crust by hand ahead of time, and you can whip up your filling in this so yummy portable blender, and there you have it, Pie Day. I'm gonna see you guys next week. We don't need this anymore, right?